Hi, I'm Ezra, 36, and my sister made my son cry on his birthday while my mom giggled like it was funny. So I kicked them out. That same night, she told me I was dead to the family. I replied. Understood. I'm calling in every penny you owe me. The thing about being the stable one, in a family full of emotionally sunburned narcissists, is that they start to believe your kindness is an inheritance. Like it's money already spent. Like your limits are just decoration. My name's Ezra. I'm a corporate accountant in Phoenix. Married to Billy, dental hygienist, terrifyingly kind, sharp as a razor, and allergic to passive aggression. We've been together 7 years, and we've got a 9-year-old son named Caleb, who builds robot kits for fun and tells strangers how volcanoes work because he loves science that much. My older sister Nicole? Her hobby is stress. She's 39, single mom to a 12-year-old named Braden, and treats financial ruin like it's a lifestyle brand. Been borrowing money since the Bush administration and paying it back with excuses and emotional ransom notes. I became her unofficial bank 5 years ago. Started with a transmission repair, then a broken HVAC system, then braces, rent, deposits, you name it. 17 loans. $68,400. Paid back? $4,000 maybe? But every loan came with a signed promissory note. That's what kept me sane, paper trails. My friend Spencer's a corporate attorney. He once looked over the whole file and said, "You've got a bulletproof case. Want to collect?" I laughed back then. Then came Caleb's birthday. Billy had been planning it for weeks. We rented a private room at an arcade, got a custom cake with little fondant gears and circuits, and bought Caleb the one gift he'd been dreaming about for months, the X5 robotics builder kit. Everyone RSVP'd, including Nicole and my parents. They showed up late, of course. Nicole waltzed in like she was checking into a resort, Braden trailing behind her like an unbothered tech bro. Caleb ran up to greet them, smiling, trying. Braden didn't even look up from his phone. At pizza time, Nicole spent 10 minutes bragging about Braden's gifted coding camp, casually sliding in how some kids are just naturally more advanced. My son sat there, quietly absorbing every word. Then came the gifts. Caleb opened his kit, his face exploded with joy. Until Braden scoffed. "I built that when I was 8, he said. "It's for beginners." Caleb blinked. "It's not for babies." Nicole laughed. "Sweetie, it's okay. Not everyone's gifted. You're trying your best." That's when the room went still. Billy, bless her, stood up and said, "Nicole, shut your mouth." Her voice didn't waver. Nicole stood too. Her chair clattered. She grabbed Billy's wrist hard. Said Caleb was mediocre. And accused us of being jealous. My kid was crying. That's when I stood up and told Nicole to get out. When she balked, I said, "Get out or I'm calling security." She screamed something about betrayal. My mom started crying. My dad just looked away. Nicole left with Braden furious. My parents followed. They said I'd regret it. I didn't. That night, my phone exploded. Mom sent the now infamous text. "You're dead to us." I replied, "Understood. I'm calling in every penny you owe me." Billy looked at me and said, "Finally." And that's where the war really began. I didn't sleep that night. Billy stayed up with me, both of us pacing around the house like we were waiting for a storm to hit, but knowing full well we'd already been struck. I pulled out the loan folder. 17 promissory notes, every one with Nicole's signature. The earliest was 5 years old. The most recent? Just 3 months ago, $1 400 for a laptop she needed for work, but somehow never bought. "You really going to do it?" Billy asked. "Yeah," I said. "She grabbed you in public. Made Caleb cry. Humiliated all of us. And she still thinks she's the victim." Billy nodded slowly. "Then let's go full audit mode." So I did. I called Spencer first thing the next morning, and told him what happened at the party. He didn't even hesitate. "You've got a paper trail, a list of defaults, and now a motive for escalation. Let's send demand letters. Give her 30 days. I agreed. While Spencer drafted those, I pulled every bank record, every Venmo transfer, every text where Nicole said things like, "I'll pay next Friday," and "just until I get my taxes back." I wasn't just going to win, I was going to document every inch of my spine growing back. And then I got a knock on the door. It was my mother. Saturday morning, 8 a.m. No warning. Just red eyes and a frown that could shatter granite. Can we talk? Billy appeared behind me in pajamas. Helen, it's 8. Now's not a good time. I need to speak with my son. Alone. No, Billy said calmly. Whatever you say it to both of us. That's when my mom did her favorite thing, emotional sleight of hand. You've always been so cold, Ezra. Nicole needed help. You've never said no before. She's your sister. She's my debtor, I said. Mom blinked. She owes me $64,300. I continued. And she's paid back for. She's not struggling, she's stealing. There's a difference. She's a single mother. So am I, Billy said. Except I don't ask Ezra for handouts, and then mock his son at a birthday party. That's dumb. Mom turned red. That trip to Disneyland was a gift from a friend. Sure, I said. Because friends always gift luxury suites and park hoppers. Sounds legit. Ezra, I raised you to be generous. No, I said. You raised me to be silent. You raised me to feel guilty for saying no. She gasped like I slapped her. Then she dropped her bomb. Don't be surprised when Nicole never forgives you. Or when Braden asks why his uncle doesn't care. She can explain it to him, I said. With a receipt. She left in a huff. Billy looked at me stunned. I think you just broke the family script. Good, I said. The ending sucked. That afternoon, Spencer sent the final letters, certified mail, return receipts. Nicole's got hers Wednesday. My parents' Thursday. Friday night, my phone blew up. Nicole, you selfish traitor. How could you threaten me like this? Mom, you're heartless. You're destroying our family over money. Dad even called. Tried the guilt route. Nicole needs help. You're stable. You're doing well. Can't you give her more time? Not unless the laws of math change, I said. Silence. I ended the call with this. Tell her to start paying, or see her in court. That weekend? Billy baked cookies with Caleb. We played board games. Laughed. Watched a movie. My phone buzzed once with a new message from Nicole. It read, "You'll regret this. We all will." I smiled and whispered to myself. No. You will. I didn't have to wait long for the fire to spread. 3 days after Nicole got the demand letter, she exploded on Facebook. A post full of lies. She claimed I had borrowed money from her. That she'd helped her poor little brother when he was struggling. And now I was turning on family over lies and forged documents. She said she had proof that Billy had manipulated me, turned me against my family, and was controlling the finances like a cult wife. It was unhinged. And people were believing it. I watched the comments pour in. Friends of hers, mutuals, saying things like, "Wow, I always knew Ezra was cold. It's always the quiet ones who turn out toxic. Your brother is suing you over family?" I sat at my desk with my jaw locked so tight I thought I might break a molar. Billy read the post over my shoulder. "She's trying to pre-poison the well," she said. "Make herself the victim before court. I'm not letting her get away with this." And I didn't. Spencer called the next morning. "Check your inbox." He had screenshots. Dozens. Nicole wasn't just venting publicly, she was posting in private Facebook groups. Single mom support forums, legal help threads, even one subreddit-adjacent forum for narcissistic family survivors. She was rewriting history in real time. One post from 3 weeks earlier said, "My brother forged documents, and is suing me for money I gave him. His wife is behind it. She's always hated me." Another claimed, "I loaned them $30,000 and now they're claiming I owe them. They're manipulating legal loopholes to bankrupt me." Spencer's voice over the phone was sharp. "She's not just lying. She's defaming you. That's actionable. Can we add it to the case?" "Not only can we add it," he said, "we can go nuclear. Fraud, defamation, and malicious misrepresentation. If the court believes she's lying publicly to avoid paying debts with documented proof, that's not civil, it's potentially criminal." I exhaled slowly. This wasn't just about collecting debt anymore. This was about integrity. About every moment I'd swallowed bile and kept the peace. About my son being called mediocre on his birthday. About my wife being physically grabbed and insulted in public. About 5 years of being treated like a vending machine with a family photo taped to it. That night, Billy and I sat at the kitchen table while Caleb slept. I laid out every promissory note. Every Venmo record. Every text. Billy built a folder of screenshots from Nicole's online posts. We made labels. Loan documents. Repayment proof. Defamatory claims. Screenshots of forgery allegations. It wasn't just evidence. It was therapy. At the end, we made a new file. Settlement terms. Billy looked at me. What's the goal? Full repayment. Public retraction. Apology. Or she goes down. Billy nodded slowly. You're not just protecting your money. You're protecting your name. No, I said. I'm protecting ours. The next day, Spencer filed the amended complaint. Nicole got served at work. She called me at noon, crying, screaming, calling me a monster, begging me to stop the madness. I said 6 words. 30 days. Or we go to trial. She hung up. Mom called an hour later. Sobbing. Accusing me of breaking her heart. Nicole's having panic attacks. She can't sleep. She says you're destroying her life. I repeated the same 6 words. 30 days. Or we go to trial. That night, Caleb hugged me after brushing his teeth. He looked up and said, "Thanks for making them leave, Dad." I blinked. You remember? I asked. He nodded. She said I wasn't smart. But I know I am. You are, buddy. You're brilliant. He smiled. Then let's finish building the robot tomorrow. We did. While I waited for war. Day 17. No payment from Nicole. Just vague text messages filled with fake niceties and wild accusations. Can we talk without lawyers? I'll send something soon, I promise. You're choosing your cold wife over your own blood. I didn't respond. Spencer told me to let the silence speak for itself. Then Nicole made her move. She showed up at our house unannounced. Pulled up in her scraped-up SUV like it was a war chariot. Billy answered the door. Nicole barely looked at her, just shoved past into our foyer like she still had privileges. Where is he? She barked. I was already coming down the stairs. Right here. Nicole whirled on me. This is insane. Do you know what you're doing to me? Collecting on debts. With proof. You're suing me into poverty. No, I said. You did that to yourself when you chose Disneyland over repayment. She blinked. Then pointed a finger at Billy. This is her. She turned you against us. Billy didn't flinch. You did that on your own. Nicole stepped forward. I stepped between them. Leave. Now. She crossed her arms, tried to go full soap opera. You'd really choose her over your sister? After everything I've done for you? Billy laughed, just once. Quiet, sharp. You've taken Nicole, Billy said. Not done. Nicole's face cracked. I was a single mother. I was doing my best. And you still managed to humiliate a 9-year-old on his birthday, I said. That's when her mask slipped completely. Because he's not special, she shouted. You two are raising a soft, average little weirdo and pretending he's Einstein. I didn't even raise my voice. Get out of my house. She stormed out, slamming the door hard enough to rattle the windows. Billy stood frozen. You okay? I asked. She nodded. I'm just tired of being her villain. I've been her villain since the day we met. I reached for her hand. She hates you because you never needed her. Because you're everything she pretends to be. That night, Nicole posted again. This time it was a sob story. My brother is trying to sue me into homelessness. I gave him money. I supported him. Now I'm being punished because his wife doesn't like me. The comments? Disgusting. He sounds abusive. Get a lawyer. You can beat this. Protect your son. This is parental alienation. I stayed up all night reading lies written about me by people who didn't know my name 2 weeks ago. Then Spencer called. You want revenge? He asked. No, I said. I want the truth. Then let's bring it all. Full complaint. Fraud, defamation, repayment. We bury her in facts. I nodded. File everything. The court date came fast. Nicole showed up with a fresh blowout, a smug look, and my mother gripping her arm like she was leading her to an altar. Spencer and I arrived with a binder and a USB drive. The judge reviewed every document. Every signature. Every transaction. Nicole tried to interrupt. Your Honor, these were family gifts. The judge shut her down. Ms. Hayes, did you sign these documents? Yes, but… Then you are responsible for repayment. Plus interest. Plus damages for false claims made in public forums. Nicole started crying. Mom shot me a death glare. The gavel came down. $68,400. Plus $15,000 in defamation damages. 90 days to pay or face wage garnishment and asset seizure. Nicole's mouth fell open like she'd just been told the moon was fake. I walked out of that courtroom lighter than I'd felt in years. We got in the car, and Billy leaned over. How do you feel? I exhaled. Like I just took my life back. The retraction post went up 3 days later. Court ordered. Public. Brutal. I, Nicole Hayes, falsely claimed my brother Ezra borrowed money from me. In truth, I borrowed $68,400 over a 5-year period and failed to repay it. I also made defamatory statements about him and his wife that were untrue. I sincerely apologize for the harm I caused. The comments? A bonfire. People who'd backed her in earlier threads now turned. Fast. Wow. Lying for clout? You smeared your own brother's name. Shameful. Where's your apology to Caleb? Nicole's support system collapsed like a cheap folding chair. She deactivated Facebook the next day. Her job didn't wait long either. Fired by the end of the week. Ethics violation. They couldn't have someone handling insurance data after being legally found guilty of fraud and defamation. She lost her apartment by month's end. Couldn't afford the rent, and with her credit score tanked, she couldn't secure another lease. The car went next, repossessed. Braden? Moved in with my parents in Tucson. Nicole got every other weekend custody as she could afford gas. I heard through a cousin she was sleeping on a friend's couch and trying to apply for part-time office gigs under a different last name. Every 2 weeks, my direct deposit chimed. $287.50, garnished wages. Right on schedule. Billy and I opened a new savings account just for that money. We called it the Boundary Fund. Are you ever going to touch it? She asked one night as we were cleaning up after dinner. Nope, I said. It's not for spending. It's for remembering. She nodded. Principle over principle. Exactly. My mom called once. Left a message. Your sister is suffering, Ezra. You proved your point. Please stop this. I didn't respond. Dad emailed. Long-winded. Said family's supposed to be about grace and second chances. Asked if I could at least forgive her in private. I replied with a screenshot of her social media lies and one line. Forgiveness comes after accountability. Not instead of it. Then I blocked his email. Caleb was doing better than I expected. He didn't ask about Braden. Didn't miss them. He had new friends. Robotics club. A math tutor who made him laugh by comparing equations to alien language. One night, I came into the living room and found him playing with the X5 kit again. You like it now? I asked. He looked up. I always liked it. I just didn't want to like it in front of people who made fun of me. That hurt. But it was honest. That same night, Nicole tried again. This time she showed up at Billy's office. Walked in like a customer, then cornered her by the front desk. Begged. Rambled. Then got nasty when Billy wouldn't cave. She's unhinged, Billy said later, shaking. We installed a camera at the front door that weekend. I reported the office visit to Spencer. He filed an incident report and sent a warning letter to Nicole's email and last known address. Any direct contact with the plaintiff or his family constitutes harassment, and will be escalated. She didn't respond. But Mom did. She called screaming. Said we were cruel, vindictive, said we were destroying what little family we had left. Billy took the phone. You destroyed it yourself, Helen, she said. We just stopped pretending. Click. I didn't hear from anyone for 2 weeks. Then one morning, Caleb came into the kitchen holding a letter. From Grandma. It was a handwritten note. Loopy cursive. Apology, sort of. Not for the years of financial pressure or the favoritism or even the birthday disaster. Just, we were caught in the middle. We still love Caleb. Please don't punish us for your sister's mistakes. I threw it in the trash. Because here's the truth no one likes to say out loud. You can't be caught in the middle when you're holding the rope and cheering. 6 months later, I took Caleb to a regional robotics expo. He wore his little X5 badge like it was a Nobel Prize and presented his prototype to a room full of judges and wide-eyed kids. He didn't stutter. He didn't flinch. He stood tall. That night, he asked, "Do you think Braden's still better than me?" I looked him in the eyes. "I think you're exactly who you're supposed to be. And that's better than anyone who needs to put others down to feel smart." He nodded. Didn't ask again. Nicole, meanwhile, was a ghost in the background of our lives. Her wage garnishments kept rolling in. She lost the second job she'd picked up after mouthing off to her manager. Then filed for bankruptcy. But that didn't touch the court judgment. Fraud debt survives bankruptcy. It always does. Her retraction post never got deleted. Her lies never got cleaned up. The internet remembers. My parents kept trying. Birthday cards for Caleb. Voicemails about holidays. They never apologized for laughing at my son. Never acknowledged the moment that shattered everything. They just wanted to move on. I didn't. I moved forward. Big difference. I moved into a place where my son felt safe, where my wife was respected, where family was something earned, not weaponized. Where boundaries wasn't a curse word. One day, Caleb came home with a school assignment. "Write about someone you admire." He picked me. Said, "My dad builds robots with me, helps people with numbers, and doesn't let mean people stay mean." I excused myself and cried in the bathroom for 5 minutes straight. Because that was it. That was the win. Not court victories. Not repayments. This. A home that felt like a home. A family that didn't need to be tolerated. A kid who saw what protection looked like and carried it into his own heart. Nicole still owes $60,000. I don't care if I see another cent. What matters is this: I took my life back. I took my son's peace back. And I stopped trading love for silence. That's not revenge. That's healing. And it's ours.